Could this man, Ashton Jeanty, be running back one? It's certainly possible as a rookie, but we're here to talk Dynasty and redraft. This is now where all the Dynasty content's going to live on the main channel. We decided not to do the Dynasty channel separate anymore. So we will do Dynasty only content on this channel. It won't take away from anything you already see. Just imagine if we did a Dynasty show on the other channel. It's just going to be done now on the main channel. But we're talking about this man from a redraft and Dynasty perspective. So this isn't just a Dynasty show, but we will attack the hell out of both angles here. Is this number one? Is this running back number one in Dynasty? Is it potentially, are we looking at running back one? Is it a case where this man is running back one in redraft? It's certainly possible. I'm not going to rank him above Gibbs or Bijan. He's going to be running back number 3 in redraft, but that's a protective measure. Doesn't mean I don't believe it can't happen, that this kid right here can't be running back 1 as a rookie. This footage of him, and you could say he's in shorts, Smitty, this is ridiculous that you're even entertaining, that this is, you know, this matters right now. Just the smoothness, efficiency, the power, the explosion. He's out there in practice just looking the part. His teammates are enamored with him. His explosiveness, that power that he brings to every single step, his footwork, his vision, his ability to catch footballs. This could be the number 1 receiving back in the league. He could be the number 1 receiving back in the league, even as a rookie, but especially in Dynasty going forward. He has 500 yards, 40 receptions, and 5 TDs to his name in a single college season. Anybody that says this is not a receiving back, or he didn't have a lot of receiving stats in college, anybody that says or utters those embarrassing words doesn't know ball, or they're repeating some sort of content they heard on Mickey Mouse channels. This could be the number 1 receiving back in the National Football League within 1 calendar year. Could be the number 1 running back overall as a rookie. That show, as long as we have time, we'll also do a draft. That show begins right now. File on in, and let's hit the Dynasty intro, since we're going to talk a lot of Dynasty value on this one.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Dynasty Fantasy Football Show.
Again, we will be talking about redraft and Dynasty on this particular episode. This coming from Brock Bowers. Ashton Jeanty is a beast. He's quick. He's fast. He's rocked up. He's thick. He's doing it live. This boy's thick. He's coming out strong, smashing his own defenders in practice. Real shortly, he will be. Right now, they're in shorts, but either way, he's rocked and he's thick, according to Brock Bowers. And if Brock Bowers says it, it's happening.
Let him cook.
And while I don't, honestly, when you think about it, I don't love Geno Smith. I don't think Geno's amazing for the longevity of this organization. I don't believe he's going to be the starter in 4 years from now. Maybe even 3 years from now. I don't know that we're going to see Geno Smith starting games. We'll see how he makes it through year 1, year 2. They're paying him. They're paying him big money. They're paying him big money. Let's ask the Krugmeister what that contract looks like, if Krug's even right. Hey, Kruger. He's not even there. Kruger, what is Geno Smith's new contract? Can you read that off to us? Kruger! I swear, he's been half the person he's been. You've been half the AI that you used to be, Kruger. Let's step it up, okay?
Got it, Smitty. I'm all in. Let's crank it up and keep the energy high. Whatever you need.
Okay. Enough small talk. Kruger, we're live right now on the show. We're doing an Ashton Jeanty hype-up video. Dynasty redraft. What was Geno Smith's contract last year? Please.
Smitty, let's do this. Last year,
Right.
Geno Smith.
Not last year. The offseason. What's Geno Smith's contract? His new contract. This is taking forever. What are we doing?
Geno Geno Smith signed a 2-year extension with the Raiders worth up to $85.5 million, with $66.5 million guaranteed, locking him in through the 2027 season.
Yeah, that looks correct. It looks like he's just he's getting the information straight from Google, and that's smart, Kruger. You know, you've been pulling up some weird data lately, so I like that. I like that you're going straight to the Google machine. Geno Smith 2-year contract extension, $85 million. He's there for 2 years, is my guess. I think Geno does play relatively good. My whole point in this, it took forever to get this done through Kruger, but my whole point is this, that Geno Smith is actually the perfect quarterback for this situation, because we want the team to lean on Jeanty. We want the team to lean on Bowers. We don't care that as long as Geno can get the football to Bowers, we don't really have a problem, right? And I think that he's a competent enough quarterback to be borderline top 10 in production, borderline 9 to 14 in NFL quarterback terms. This is a good quarterback. It's not a great quarterback. He's not a top 5 quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's good enough to get Bowers the ball, which stretches the field. He's good enough to get Besh the ball, stretch the field. Everyone's not going to eat hand over fist in the passing game, but to have a competent quarterback that is not so good that they take all the spotlight away and opportunities, this is actually beautiful. You've got Geno probably going to play pretty efficient football. You have Bowers in a solid receiving game. Besh is very underrated. Jacoby Myers is really hyped up all the time, so a lot of you like Jacoby. This is a really decent passing attack. Not great, not elite, not top 5, not top 8. It's very decent. It's very, I can stretch the field and give Jeanty less 8-man fronts as possible. This guy can't live in 8-man fronts. You can't do that. Not with Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers solidifies that Jeanty will have a very solid time breaking through and finding good, breaking through defenses and finding good rushing lanes. He's not going to just be hitting stone walls constantly. Jeanty will have room to navigate. Not to mention, it almost doesn't matter. He'll steamroll right over you. It takes multiple players to tackle this monster. And if we throw up this footage one more time for those of you late to the party, I mean, this kid's explosion. Again, he's in shorts. I get it. I'm not a moron. But I can look at a player that's playing in shorts and look at their footwork, their explosiveness, the way he carries the ball, how compact he is, his contact balance, how it's going to look when he gets hit. He knows how to cover the ball. He knows how to keep his balance when he does get hit. We have so much footage of that. We don't even need to look at the footwork there. He's smooth. His cutting ability, his vision. This is all, very light work duty stuff, but you can tell. You can say this is the part. This guy fits the bill. Even when you watch Hampton looks great in drills as well. And the combine, there's a reason they have the combine where guys do drills like that, and people are specifically judging and predicting their ability to succeed at the next level doing drills like that. So I don't want to hear somebody saying, oh, they're in shorts. You're going to make predictions about guys in shorts? That's why they have the combine. Yeah, I am. I am going to look at a player doing drills and footwork drills and looking at their vision and how they cut and what their body looks like. What's the balance look like of the player? There's a lot of reasons. We came out and showed Kyron footage last year before the season started. When Kyron was looking good, we did it this offseason as well. Kyron looks fantastic. He looks quick, elusive. His first step is amazing. Kyron's going to have a big year. Kyron's going to be back in the 5-yard per carry saddle. So buckle up for that.
Too much.
And Jeanty's going to be in the 5-yard per carry saddle as well. I just don't know if it's going to be, we did a projection for him. I don't know if Jeanty's going to have, let me get rid of Penix Jr. Penix Jr. going to have a big year. I had a lot of people already chirping in the comments saying that, Smitty, your 4,000 yards and 33 passing TDs for Penix Jr. is too high. Well, you can have that opinion if you want. My opinion is you're too low on Michael Penix Jr., and he's going to...
Mashed potatoes!
Let him cook.
You think whatever you want. I could really care less. I'll scream. I'll let the true ones know what I believe, and I care about what those people believe and what they think. But at the end of the day, I could give two shiots if someone disagrees with me. I really don't care. If I cared, I wouldn't be saying things that I say all the time, year after year after year. If I let people influence me, I'll let anybody influence me. If I think he's going to throw for 75 touchdowns, I'll tell you that I think he's going to throw for 75 touchdowns. If I believe Achane is going to hold up and be an elite player and not get injured, I'll tell you over and over and over. Achane, write it on the board. How many people came for our heads and our necks and said, Smitty, you can't possibly think Achane's going to stay healthy. He stayed healthy all year and cooked, and they want to give Achane even more volume.
Let him cook.
So do whatever you want. I could care less. All right, where's my boy Jeanty? I got a new graphic up for Jeanty. You guys like the look of this better? The look of this graphic better? Is that nicer? Do you like it more simplistic? Just Jeanty? Do you like the Ashton there? You like I love that the team in RB, the position and the team are there, because I think some people need that information. So, it is what it is. Tell me what you like. I like this. This looks pretty good, but maybe the first name's not needed. I don't know. Is it too cluttered? Let me know. Ashton Jeanty, we talked about 5 yards per carry minimum. 5 yards per carry. I think it's going to be something along the 240 carry mark for this kid. He's got the pedigree for it. 5 yards a carry. That's what is that? 5 yards a carry times let's give him 250 carries, 1250. I think he gets more than 5 yards a carry then. I think he has 1390. Let's go 1390. 1390 divided by 5. No. Sorry. 1390 divided by 245 carries. That's 5.6 a pop. That sounds right. 245 carries. We already did projections for Jeanty, but we're doing it again. 5.6 yards per carry. 1,390 rushing yards. 14 rushing TDs. 47 receptions for 370 yards and 2 to 3 TDs. If he gets to that 3, and we're talking 17 total touchdowns, we're talking 1,700 roughly total yards, we're talking 47 PPR reception points. This is crazy. And this is a floor. For those of you saying 240 carries, he could get 290, he could get 300, but this is a floor value. This is not my ceiling value. Ceiling value, probably say, if we're going to put a ceiling and floor, 245 to 270. 5.6 no matter what. 1390 to 14. Actually, 1500 would be a ceiling. Honestly, 1500 ceiling. 14 to 16 TDs. Rushing. 14 to 16 rushing TDs. If you want ceiling, and 43 to 55 receptions. Ceiling value 300 to 450 receiving yards. 300 to 450 receiving yards. Big wide range for that. And 2 to 4 touchdowns receiving. That's his floor ceiling. You want his floor ceiling? There you go. 245 to 270 carries, 1390 to 1500 yards, 14 to 16 rushing touchdowns, 43 to 55 receptions. Receiving TDs 2 to 4, and receiving yards is 300 to 450. This could be, it's not improved, Addict. This is his floor and ceiling. This isn't a changed prediction. This is his floor and ceiling. You want both? There you go. But it could be anywhere in between. But if you want a floor number, 1390, 14, 2 to 3 TDs. You can almost guarantee he gets that if he stays healthy. He's a monster. If I had to guess, he'll finish as running back 2 or 3 as a rookie. If I had to guess, 1 year from today, he's the number 1 drafted running back across all formats. Dynasty, redraft, doesn't matter. If I had to guess 1 year from today, he's the number 1 overall pick over wide receivers, over everything. He has such a monster rookie year. And the running back is going to, I think, bounce back even more hardcore this year because of Bucky, because of the rookie running back class, that people are going to feel so safe and sound having RBs. They're going to want RBs. Just like people are okay with early quarterback this year, when that's been something we've been preaching to the moon for years now. When everybody's been off of the early quarterback, everyone loves early quarterback now. Not saying people don't draft, like myself even, late quarterback. I'll go Dak and Kyler alone. I'll go Penix Jr. and Kyler. I'll go Penix Jr. and Dak. I'll have a combo of quarterbacks like that if I get sniped. Mahomes is a mid to late quarterback draft approach right now because he goes around 6-7. So I'm all about that. I'm all about all different strategies, but early quarterback is now very popular when it wasn't for years, and we've been the biggest advocates of it. Safe and sound. You sleep safe and sound with a Josh Allen in your lineup. You're not racing around every week trying to pull off a trade because you screwed up and have no quarterback play, and you're bleeding out week after week. JD5 solves that problem. Well, guess what? The RBs will return to glory in such a way this 2025 season. We'll see a lot more early running back drafting, even in best ball mania and best ball circles and best ball content everywhere. You're going to start seeing people way more comfortable taking RBs in round 1 and 2 in 2025. We might even see a balanced return to the running back wide receiver divide in best ball drafts in 2026. I think 2026 will be just like I predicted, the quarterback would return to form and people would start drafting running backs earlier in 2025 because of how the outcome was going to be in 2024, which it exactly was. We called that to a T. We're going to see people taking RBs in round 1 at a higher clip. We're going to see running backs in round 2 at a higher clip in 2026 best ball drafts. We're doing it live. Let's take some phone calls and then we'll get into a draft in a little bit. Phone lines are open. Tell me where you think Jeanty's going to be. Is he going to be an amazing running back 1 overall? What's his dynasty appeal for you? Do you have a dynasty trade you're looking to try and execute upon that gets you Jeanty or the 1.1? Does anybody have a Superflex rookie-only draft, a tight end premium and Superflex where they're contemplating not taking Jeanty at 1? I'll tell you in advance what I think of that.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Travis, you're live. What can I do for you, kind sir? You're live.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I'd have him tied with Bijan with Gibbs right behind him in terms of dynasty right now. I only say that because while in today's game, being that 220-pound back doesn't make you a top running back, it is a bonus if you are a top running back and you have that exercise to go with it. So he can take a pounding and take those, upwards of 300 carries and be okay with it. We're not looking for him to make up touches in other places. He can get all the touches.
Yeah, he definitely can. I've got 2 super chats here. Let me just hit these real quickly. Dynasty just got Keon Coleman, 1.11 and 2.11 for Mile Waddle, Javonte, and Miles Sanders. Look, that's great. I would do it. I know there's some Waddle people out there. They're going to not like this, but I just don't trust Waddle any more than I trust having Coleman and just that 1.11. If that 1.11 is a receiver, we've seen RJ Harvey fall there, and if that was the case, you'd be blasting him to oblivion. But there's so many good I think I even said earlier, I think this was the example I used. You give me like Krosky, Merritt, and Coleman, and I'm almost like intrigued by that in a way. And I'm not saying draft Krosky, Merritt at 1.11. I'm just saying if you get Krosky, Merritt with that second rounder, and you got Keon Coleman, and you get the 1.11 as well, like that's crazy. I think it's ended up being a really, really good move. Go ahead, Travis, real quick, and then I'll read this other one.
Yeah, I was just going to say on top of it, you're rolling the dice a bit, but if Keon Coleman does end up being the guy in Buffalo, or even being, a 1,000-yard type receiver on Buffalo, that makes the deal even more, even better. So
Yeah,
I'd roll the dice.
Dynasty Superflex 0.5 tight end premium. Plus JD. Okay, so plus JD5, Burrow, Achane, Higgins. I have the next pick at 4.11. Take Henderson, JT, or Kyron. I'd probably go Hendy. There's some risk level there that like JT could be a lot better pick for you for 2025. I get that, but Hendy to me has the capability. If I'm ranking, and I did my not rookie running backs, I did my dynasty running back ranking video, and I had all three of Hendy, Harvey, and Hampton above JT. So you already have my answer with that video alone. And I like Kyron a lot. Kyron's going to get an extension here soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, I think. Where'd my pen go? And so you have an uptick in his value across the board from people. People are going to be all on Kyron after that. I think Kyron climbs from the third round to probably, I would say, at least the top of round 3 from mid third round. So even 2.9, 2.10, 2.11, 2.12 in a lot of drafts, whereas he's going 3.2 to 3.6 right now, Kyron, which is crazy to me. Just insane. In mom and pop grandma leagues, I think those leagues, they don't know how, they haven't devalued Kyron like a lot of other formats and populations of drafters have. So it's weird when you go into like a work league or something, or a grandma league or whatever. Like if I go into Miss Smitty's work league, which is only comparable I have to that, they probably have no idea that people are down on Kyron. And being down on Kyron, it fuels and perpetuates the value depletion. So it's not like everyone just follows the leader. Oh, everyone's down on him. What's it matter? I like him. But being down on him moves his ADP down. Then that moves everybody's pressure to draft him when on the clock down. And then before you know it, it shapes the entire culture. So the culture in like a mom and pop draft, work league, a grandma league, that culture hasn't moved them down. And especially you go to ESPN where there haven't been legitimate mock drafts driving any ADP data, then all of a sudden you have Kyron staying at, 2.2, 2.4, 2.5. So where Kyron goes is really odd across different formats. In Dynasty, though, in this question up here, in Dynasty, I think Kyron's got very low value across the board. Henderson, for me, is the pick. Just plain and simple. I don't even hesitate. Harvey, though, I have a feeling Harvey's still there, too. And I think you need to really contemplate Harvey and Hendy as equals at this point and really have a strong debate about that, because I don't care if he's 24. But my guess is you can get Harvey the next round. So maybe you take Hendy and you take Harvey in back-to-back picks and give yourself some awesome flexibility. Aaron right here says, I think he pushes Bijan's numbers last year if the O-line is good, says Aaron, in regards to Jeanty's projections. And I appreciate you dropping that super chat. Yeah, I mean, very, very easily. I think these numbers are good. I didn't put, the range on there at first, but if we're going to try and max him out, I think you don't want him getting more than 270 carries. I mean, he could, though. They could give him 300. It's certainly possible, but I think 270 seems right. I think if you get him involved in the passing game enough, then you're going to see that 300 be 270. I don't think you need it to be 270. 300 would be if they didn't throw to him a lot. So I think he's going to have 240 to 270. But the 5 to 5.5 yards per carry seems like a lock. 1390 to 1500, 14 to 16 TDs, 43 to 55, 2 to 4 receiving TDs, and 300 to 450 receiving yards. Wide range because he's just that good. What else you got, Travis?
I was just looking at the stats from last year with Bijan, and it's crazy because Bijan still hasn't. He's only been in the league 2 years, but he had 4.8 yards per carry last year. He still hasn't, been behind the line that can, produce, and with Cousins hurt too. But he's capable of even more than he did last year, Bijan.
Yeah,
because he can easily get 5 yards per carry in the right offense.
Yeah, Bijan was insane at the end, but he was good all year. The last 6 games, dare I say, Bijan was the best running back in the league in the last 6 games. Like if you extrapolated out his last 6 games, I don't think anybody would outscore him. Maybe Gibbs, but it was Gibbs and Bijan anyway. So I mean, it's like the same. Yeah. Gibbs might be that good because Gibbs had 4 touchdowns, I think, in his final game.
Last game, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Get into a weekly winner, guys. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Pull up the app. Hit the draft tab at the bottom. And once you're at the bottom and you hit the draft tab, use the link that's in the description right now. If you're watching the replay, use the link that's pinned in the live chat right now, or the link I'm dropping right here, which inserts code Smitty for you. And then at the draft tab at the bottom, originals tab, then hit the active drafts, hit the lobby. You can then click on NFL and go to the weekly winners. But drop your deposit so that you can get a match on that. Draft just filled. These fill quick, so if you don't get in one, we'll get in one together. Maybe we'll do 2 of these since they're 20 seconds. We probably could do 2 of them. So don't fret if you didn't get in. Sometimes when I click on it, there's only 3 spots left anyway. They go really, really fast. We'll get into another one. Maybe we'll do a puppy after this one. So Jeanty, conversation of the night will be kind of centered around maybe rookie running backs and Jeanty. What pick do I have? Can I even take Jeanty? I have 8. I might get him. It's kind of tough. He goes 7 or 8. I hope I get him. I hope I can get him for the context of this show. Hopefully Jeanty falls to me. This is a weekly winner, means that no one week is tied to another. So it's all about just having your entire team that you draft in this one setting try and outscore everyone else's in one individual week. No week is tied to another. You literally could have everybody on a bye. Or they could all be injured through the entirety of the first 16 weeks, and then week 17, the final week, they all come together and smash. All right, let's see if I can. I don't know if Jeanty will fall to me here. He's got it's Gibbs, Jeanty, next 2 picks. In weeklies, I don't mind Henry, but I don't think I'll take him here. I'll probably take Neighbors. I'll take Neighbors, Gibbs, or Jeanty here. There goes Gibbs. Let's see if Jeanty goes to this guy right here. I don't know if that's one of our people. It looks familiar. So if so, he's taking Jeanty. But Jeanty is next up, so the odds are that Jeanty does get taken. Oh, CMC. Jeanty it is.
Nice.
Wow. Maybe he's giving a layup there too, because he knows we're trying to build a Jeanty team. Either way, salute to you, young man. Salute to you.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at the RBs. So much different in weekly winner to see these RBs flying off the board, but usually you don't see that. I do predict that this will be a trend overall in best ball, which is not the case. It's very wide receiver heavy, except for in weekly winners. DMO with a super chat says, in a 12-team Superflex tight end premium with 1.5 for running back receptions. Wow. Should I take Hall, JT, Kyron, Judkins, Chase Brown? Is this a Dynasty? You didn't say. If it's Dynasty, I'm probably taking... I guess I might still take Kyron or Chase Brown. If it's redraft, I'm taking Kyron.
Even with the receptions, the extra 0.5.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Well, it's how much is it? 1.5?
Yeah.
I thought it said 0.5. Yeah, maybe Chase Brown then.
Brown over Hall.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he does a lot of damage.
That's a tough one.
passing game.
I like Hall a lot this year, though. But given Chase Brown's got a little less mileage and wear and tear, maybe. I don't know. Against Chase Brown. What other running backs can you give me, bro? Are there anybody else DMO? You know, is Hendy there? Is 1.5 for running back receptions? Yeah, you can't take Kyron there. I thought it was 0.5. Thanks for calling that out. I'd probably say I love Hall, though. Hall or Chase?
I think it's close.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong.
They're very close.
I don't think you can go wrong. Hall or Chase Brown. DMO says Harvey's there. I'm taking Harvey. I don't care that he's 24 years old, bro. I realize that, but you got 6 years. It doesn't matter. 24-year-old
Harvey. I said he can get him next round.
Oh, next round?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, is it weird that I kind of want to go? I assume Bucky's gone, and is it weird that I kind of want to go Harvey and Hall instead of Chase Brown and Hall,
no.
or instead of Chase Brown and Harvey?
No.
When I get Harvey, I'm getting a more solidified player, and so I'm willing to kind of risk it with Hall a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much I love Chase Brown, and I think I'd take Hall in that situation.
Yeah, I think my final answer is going to be Breece Hall. He does a hell of a job. I trust him. I know a lot of people don't. Travis trusts him. I trust him. I trust Fields. I trust the new Jets situation. I'm going to go Hall and Harvey. But if you think Harvey will get taken, I take Harvey now. Don't mess around. If you get left, Harvey got sniped, Smitty. I should have taken. I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to send you on a lap. Because you're going to sit there and go, why didn't I just do it? Why did I try and get cute and balance the scales and try and trick everybody with sorcery? You know, when you could have just taken the player that is the best player to take. It depends on the suggested rank, though. How close is it going to be? Demo, check for me right now. If you count ADP slots, how close is it in your format? How many picks will you be taking ahead of ADP if you wait till the next pick to get Harvey? Let me know what that is.
I'd even say check how many running backs, because it's going to be such a heavy weight.
But look at both of those and get back to me. If it's cutting it close, you just take Harvey. You don't even. All right. So my team so far is Jeanty and Achan. I don't have a receiver yet. Marv or JSN? Damn it, JSN has big spike weeks. I'm probably gonna still trust in Marv.
Marv.
He's huge right now. He's so jacked up. Look at this video footage of him getting interviewed. It looked like he was hungry when they were talking to him. It looked like he was like, how long is this interview? Because I gotta eat something. I gotta go eat something because I gotta feed this new frame that I'm carrying around. Marv looks jacked. This is like Calvin Johnson jacked. I mean, this is insane. And you can rip on him all you want. I'm just going to carry around more. This could be it. This could be the year that we wanted last year, and everyone's going to be like, damn, why didn't I get in? Keep in mind, Kyron busted his rookie year. He got hurt, didn't have a good year, came back and went crazy. Marv is jacked. He's ready to rumble.
No one's moving him at all. So he's getting 15 touchdowns. Like, with that frame.
Yeah. Oh, so Breece Hall, Rashee Rice, Joe Burrow, Hampton, Travis Hunter. This is tough, man. What do I do here? Rashee Rice just went. Okay, Breece Hall just went on the clock right now. Joe Burrow's there. I think I'm going to pass on Burrow here. I could go Hampton or Travis Hunter or Harvey. What do I do? Put my money where my mouth is on Harvey here?
Yeah. And then you're really set at running back.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to fall back, so I'm going to take him. Yeah, there's too many picks here. I'm going to take him here. It's a little early, but it's really, he would have gone at the turn at the end of this round, so I'm not digging into another round or anything. Jeanty, Achan, Marv, Harvey, weekly winners. smash.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Aaron says 20 seconds is so stressful. It's, you know what it is though, Aaron, it's training. Because when you go into your regular buddy league draft or your work league draft, you're gonna be so trained. It'll be like you could literally get your you could take an exam at school and eat lunch and have a text conversation with someone while you're on the clock. It's such good training. And when you get 60 seconds to draft somewhere, or you're on the clock in a regular draft, like, you are so stress free. It's like training, you know. It's like that commercial, the NFL commercial, where the referee's getting screamed at and the player's in his face going, "You mother," just spitting all over the ref, and the ref is just calm as can be, and they go, how did he train for this? And then they cut to a clip of him at home in a lazy boy, and his wife's just going, "Trash, you son of a bitch," and just screaming at him. It's one of the best commercials. His training. It's all about training, Aaron. It's all about training. JMO, Kamara, up above, Hampton, DJ Moore, Pickens, George Kittle, Joe Burrow, Sutton, Mixon. So we're climbing closer to being on the clock here. We got Travis Hunter still there, Devontae Smith, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Laporta, Deebo Samuel, Trevion Henderson. I don't know what to do here. Travis Hunter just went. I've been taking a few guys ahead of ADP. I need a receiver. I think I'm going to go Deebo Samuel. I probably own Deebo Samuel in more drafts than almost anybody right now, at least the last month. But this is such a good receiving crew with this running back start. So Jeanty, Achane, Marv, Harvey, Deebo. Deebo is one of my very favorite second wide receivers to draft. When I'm maybe even not going light wide receiver shopping, I still love it. Trevion Henderson, I would have probably taken Trey Henderson next. I don't care if I've got 3 running backs already. DK. Sam Laporta, good pick. Let's see what this 12 spot looks like. Amon-Ra, Nico, Chase Brown, Hurts, DK, Laporta, not bad. This 11 spot, Neighbors, Brock Bowers, James Cook, Devontae Adams, Trey Henderson. Very solid. Chris Godwin, I don't like that pick. Puka, Zay. Okay, I'm on the clock in Mahomesville. I don't think I like any of these players at all, anywhere near Patrick Mahomes. And this is a weekly winner. So Mahomes, Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, Marv, and Deebo. That's filthy. That is filthy. Marv, Deebo, Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, Mahomes, weekly winners. All those guys could pop off. You like that, Travis?
I like that squad a lot, yeah. I love that Marv was still there. Really grab after the running back.
Yeah. Probably, if he falls, probably get Kelce, coming up with one of the next couple picks. We'll see where his ADP is in conjunction with my pick, but I think that'd be a good move. So Waddle, Jordan Addison, Calvin Ridley. Let's look at these teams right here. We got Barkley, JT, Tyreek, Lamb, Bucky, Josh Allen, George Pickens, Chuba Hubbard, Bijan, Kyren, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Kamara. Loved everything up to the DJ Moore pick. I like Kamara though, it's not bad. But that's Bijan, Kyren, Garrett Wilson is a fantastic trio. Chase, T. Higgins, Josh Jacobs, Amarian Hampton, JMO. They probably very badly wanted Burrow, but they weren't going to get him from that one spot in weeklies. Joe Burrow goes. Where did Joe Burrow go? He went 44. They should have taken him at that 3rd round if they wanted him. You can't really get him at 48 in that weeklies, Joe Burrow. Judkins, Jacoby Myers. I don't like Calvin Ridley this year at all, especially in the 6th round. Like, would I take him in round 8 or something? Sure, but I can't stand Ridley in the 6th or 7th round at all.
Yeah, that's high.
There's just too many good players around. Jerry Jeudy on the clock, or on deck here. Okay, now I'm on the clock. Looks like Diggs just went. I'm going to take Kelce here so I don't get sniped because he's 4 players down. So now my team is as follows. Mahomes and Kelce stacked. Marv, Deebo, Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, and Mahomes. I'm a big advocate of having a lot of good quarterbacks in a weekly. It's just the quarterback position scores more than any other position. So you imagine in weeklies, you want to have the highest scoring quarterback of the week or one of them. And to have multiple quarterbacks gives you that opportunity. So it really is a bully quarterback environment more than it is anything else. Like grabbing elite quarterbacks is essential, not having just one. You want to have some sort of, even if it's bully quarterback light. This is the available running backs. Cooper Kupp just went. Pollard just went. Okay, good. I'm taking Kyler here. And so now I have Kyler. I have Kyler and Marv. I've got Kelce and Mahomes. So I have that cross sub stack going there. Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, Marv, and Deebo. Love this. Love the squad. All right, this super chat here. This is the available running backs in order by ADP. Brees, JT, Kyron, Cook, Judkins, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, King Henry, Caleb, and Harvey. Harvey, ADP is 80. So where's your next pick then, Deebo? You're still not answering the question. Like what? You're not going to take Harvey here. Your next pick is what? 72, 75? Is it 79? It better not be anywhere near 80. Or you're not going to, you can't push your luck on it. If you're like 8 spots, 10 spots away from ADP, then I'm okay, waiting on Harvey, I suppose. But I would take Breece Hall and Harvey back to back if I could. That would be my preference in this situation. Caleb Williams. Buster's grabbing Caleb here because he doesn't have a quarterback and all the quarterbacks are getting sniped. He didn't really probably realize that, or he's okay with Caleb, but that he didn't, that the quarterbacks are going early in weekly winner. And again, weekly winner, there's no season long contest. It is individually 17 individual seasons that last 1 week, essentially. So the highest score in week 1 out of all the teams put together. The 12 of us together, the only reason we're together now is to, organize the drafting and making sure everybody has different teams. But we aren't battling against each other in this group of 12. We're battling against everyone from week 1, and then it resets to 0. Everybody in week 2, whoever scores the highest amount gets 20K. Then in week 3, weeks 1 and week 2 don't matter. Nothing's connected. Week 3, who scores the most points out of everybody in one bucket? 20K. Who scores the most in week 4, not tied to any other week? 20K. Every single week is 20K. The first place. So essentially, we're on the clock here. Scatterboo. I like Scat, but I'm going to go Dak here because of what I said earlier. That, you look at Dak's projection and they've got him scoring. What do they have him scoring? Dak projected to score, they have it per week. But essentially, these quarterbacks are in the 300s and everybody else is like 180, whatever. So you just want to make sure you have the running back totally covered, quarterback totally covered. Big home run hitter for me. I'm going to say Charbonnet's next on my list, potentially. If I was to scroll through and try and grab some receivers, I don't really see any receivers I like. I usually pass some receivers here for a while. Najee, Tyrone Tracy, Jalen Warren, Brock Purdy just went. Top player that I like on the ADP rank, which I'm not drafting off of, but I'm trying to dance around it and massage it as best I can. It's Charbonnet by a mile. Charbonnet gives me that home run hitting ability that's top 5 running back type, production if he's in there. So Jeanty, HN, Harvey, Charbonnet, Mahomes, Kyler, Dak. I've got Mahomes cuffed to Kelce at the bottom. I have Marv and Deebo with Marv cuffed to Kyler and Dak Prescott as a little bonus quarterback action. Love it. Love it. And keep in mind in weeklies, everyone might say you need more receivers. It's not really the same in weeklies. You need 3. And I know that you need to prepare for injury. Otherwise, you have an amazing team where one receiver goes down and then you can't compete any week so obviously I realize you need backups, but you are kind of banking on your studs delivering if you want to win. And in order to win without one of your big guns firing off, without all of them firing off at once, you need to find the next Bucky. You need to find the next BTJ. You're not going to get it done unless you have that, or you have, Besh, let's say, as your wide receiver 3, because your wide receiver 3 gets injured, and Besh has 110 yards and a touchdown that game. Then yeah, all things line up, you could win the 20K with something like that going on. But I am very much focused on getting the best lineup I can from the studs, and the quarterback rotation is key for that. I like this squad a lot. I'm not worried about my receivers at all. Because you look at Hollywood, Marvin Mims, Keon Coleman, even a round above that, Ayuk, who's not going to play at the beginning of the year, Michael Pittman Jr., Darnell Mooney, Marvin Mims. Look at every wide receiver that's on this screen right now, even Hopkins, who just went. None of those guys are better than the guys I'm about to take at wide receiver. Here's another one, Jaden Higgins.
Especially,
nice, but...
Yeah, especially when you're talking weeklies where you need guys to pop off.
Yeah.
I mean, Hopkins, what are the chances Hopkins is going to have 20-plus point weeks? He could, but no more than the guys you're going to take.
I'm going to go Kyle Williams here. He's the 3rd ranked receiver. In my opinion, is as good as any of those guys for 2.5 rounds have been getting drafted. I like Kyle Williams better, especially in weeklies. Jack Besh is good. If he falls to me, probably won't, because he's the highest ranked wide receiver right now. You never know, though. I could go Kyle Pitts later if I want another tight end. Kraft is nice. Besh just went, so he's gone. I might even go Garendo here.
That's not bad.
Jalen McMillan or Garendo, given that I have amazing RB, Sharps and Harvey, HN and Jeanty, but I got Marv, Deebo, and Kyle Williams, so kind of feel like I like McMillan, but Garendo is a league winner, so I'm gonna keep rolling with the biggest heavy hitter potential. McMillan's good, but is McMillan going to smash top 5 running? Garendo could be running back 1 during some week. I don't think McMillan will be wide receiver 1, so I think I'm going to keep drafting based on that. Kyle Williams never going to be number 1, but I needed a 3rd. That kind of forced, all things being equal.
You could have some big weeks.
Yeah,
you get if Jason will start the season, see how he starts, all that.
And he's the number 1 for his team. McMillan's currently 3rd, but could be 2 or 1. But Kyle Williams could have 100 yards and a touchdown. On any moment. Hold on, we got to be here. So what do you think? You think maybe it's too late to be up?
Little Smitty.
You think maybe it's too late to be up? Do you ever think maybe the reason the door's locked is Papa's working?
Who's Papa?
All right. Almost on the clock again. All right, you want to help? You want to help with one pick? This is little Smitty. Make it rain, little Smitty. Throw the money up. All right, who we drafting here? Kyle Pitts, Jalen McMillan.
Jalen McMillan.
That's a good one. Say that one more time.
Jalen McMillan.
Okay, we'll do it. If he falls, we'll take him. If not, Kyle Pitts, okay? Or do you like
Excuse me. I had a hiccup.
All right. Let's go over real quickly. All right, you got to get out of here. Say bye. Say bye. Well, because I'm working. Like and subscribe. Okay. Yeah. She's like, McMillan. So McMillan fell anyway. So that was pretty good. Going Garendo paid off. Like those are 4 pretty damn good wide receivers considering the heavy build I'm doing around wide receiver. So Travis Kelce paired with Mahomes, Kyler cuffed to Marv, Dak, naked Dak, standalone Dak with Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, Sharps, Garendo, home run hitting running backs. And then Kyle Williams and McMillan's pretty solid. I like this. Hi, I'm little Smitty.
Didn't like Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I do want to train one of the little ones to take over someday. And neither one has any interest. But we'll see. Dylan Sampson's kind of home run hitting here.
Yeah. Give it time.
Go Wilson. Let's go Dylan Sampson. I'm like, this thing's set up. You know, it almost runs itself. You don't have no interest in it. And my 13-year-old's like, no, I want nothing to do with that. I'm like, okay, well, all right. I guess Daddy will be doing it as an old man. I'll come on with a walker. It's all right. It's all right. I think it'll be cool even as I age out. We'll figure it out. It'll be me yelling and screaming as an old man will be even better. I would think. Especially as what if I go senile? That would be amazing. Just me coming in here. I'll need people to guide me a little bit. Be like, I'll be on point for one thing, and all of a sudden I'll just start talking about and Jake Plummer's gonna have a fantastic year. And you're gonna be like, Smitty, Jake Plummer is not playing in the NFL anymore.
You'll just be like Ziggy.
We'll have to have everybody vote. Like, there's got to be a meter of some kind that tells whether Smitty's in senile state or in very lucid state, so you can make decisions. Okay, I think he's in good state right here. Let's listen to everything he says. And then when I flip into some sort of dementia state, you guys can be like, this is not like a red box around the screen that says he's not good right now. Don't listen to this advice. Don't listen to it. Green box, red box. Maybe one of my kids can at least do that. They can sit there. I'll pay them a salary to press a red button and a green button based on the audience's temperature. They're like, little Smitty, are you watching? He's out of pocket right now. Red
Let
box.
people know.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Smitty is in dementia state. I have had a lot of concussions growing up, so I do wonder what my 70-year-old self is gonna be looking like. We'll see. All right, here we go. We got. I like Yoshi Voss a little bit. Man, I don't know if I like much of what's available here. I have no backup tight end, do I? I don't. So Mason,
I don't think so.
Mason Taylor's not bad. I don't love it, but hey, I need something. We've got Michael Wilson Jr. We've got Keenan Allen's kind of interesting in this format because I still think I like Tillman a little bit. Keenan Allen could potentially have some solid games left.
Yeah.
And they're probably bringing him back.
You set up running back? Set up running back?
The Biden state. He's in Biden state. you know the guy, the thing. We'll draft the guy. The guy. My running backs are pretty good. I've got Jeanty, Achane, Harvey, Charbonnet, Garendo, Dylan Sampson. Oh, you know what I want to do?
That's pretty good.
Remind me later. Do I go Pat Bryant? Jordan, James. Do I go Pat Bryant here or Yoshi Voss? 3 seconds.
Right. Go the other.
That's where I was going with too. Let's go with the potential one. Yoshi Voss ain't taking over the 1 or the 2. Pat Bryant could take over, just like Kyle Williams.
You don't have Burrow.
Yeah.
Or Chase.
This is a good team.
Little Bill still there?
Little bit. Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. Okay, so bye week 10, bye week 9, Kelce, Mason. I think I'm going with JJ. For those that put this, I don't know who's sniping me here. So JJ and Little B. Little B and JJ. I don't care that I've got a lot of running backs. I'm still doing it. I've got plenty of wide receivers. Yeah. I guess I could use one more wide receiver. But it's weeklies. I don't care about the depth. I'm not winning anything if Marv, Deebo are both down. I'm not. If one of them goes down, I'm probably not winning 20K. Like, that's the whole thing with weekly winners. Like, this is, you're banking on stuff going tremendously right in weekly winners. And I don't mind Bryant. I don't mind McMillan. I'm not saying that those weren't good picks, but you almost can't be relying upon it unless Kyle Williams becomes the Marquise Colston, which I think is very likely that we get some vibes of that. But I don't know if he'll. But if he becomes that, then yeah, that's great. I'm gonna go with my gut on these next 2 picks. Thank you for reminding me about Little B. News flash: you not winning anything if Marv and Deebo play 17. If Marv and Deebo play 17 games, you are not winning anything if Marv and Deebo play 17 games. I think you mean the opposite.
I don't know. You didn't like your Bryant pick either.
That's okay. You might. I'm gonna one up you, like one upper. You're open 24. I'm open 25, baby. All right. Let's do. I love when people Monday morning quarterback your picks. Like that 17th round pick wasn't right. That 17th round pick doesn't right. You shouldn't have done that. Pat Bryant, how dare you expect big things out of a player I don't like? How dare you? I'm going to time out. I wasn't ready. Okay, it's okay. I got an extra receiver. I had Yoshi Voss queued.
That's all right, yeah.
So I got to pick between Jordan, James, and Little Bill. I like that I got another receiver, so I'm not mad about that. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, again, if I'm not winning if Deebo and Marv go down, but what if Kyle, McMillan, and Bryant? You do need the third receiver, so you know what? It's fine. It's actually smarter. Do I go Little Bill or JJ? I think
I like Little Bill, but you have Garendo. So it depends on you want the extra shot of security.
I think I might go Jordan James. There we go. Yeah, buddies. This team is fire. Marv, Deebo, Kyle Williams, McMillan, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Kelce, Mason, Taylor. Those running backs are off the hook. My flex is clearly coming from the RB room. Jeanty, Achan, Harvey, Sharps, Garendo, Dylan Sampson, Jordan James. I got Grendo and JJ. Jordan James cuffed together. Mahomes, Kyler, Dak. I venture to say no one's got a better quarterback room than me. No one's got a better running back room than this. And honestly, this wide receiver room is deceptively good. And Kelce, we need Kelce to deliver. But, yeah. All right, let's go to Puppy now. That's an amazing squad. I like that squad a lot. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling real frisky. Well, good thing this is my show, Open 24, and not yours. So it doesn't really matter. Puppy, 20-second. Enter now. 20-second Puppy. Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. And then I see that there's a super chat here from Navage. Appreciate you, Navage. Let me hit this super real quickly. This is the available running backs. Thank you, DMO, for that. Navage. Superflex Worthy, 2nd, 5th for Rice and Geno QB3 approve. Worthy, 2nd and 5th for Rice and Geno. I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I could go either way on this. Yeah, I don't know that I could tell you that you won one way or the other on that one, because I don't know which one I'd rather have in Dynasty, Rice or Worthy. I love both of them. Geno's an extra player, makes it tough. Probably just say draft starts in
I like Rice a little better, but
I'm at the 10 spot. This is Puppy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Would you rather have Worthy, a 2nd rounder, a 5th rounder, or Rice and Geno in a super flex? And that would be his QB3.
Right.
I guess give me Rice in the extra quarterback.
That's what I lean.
This feels better. And then maybe you can trade Geno.
Yeah, super flex for sure.
I don't even know if we're talking about like this question right here from Navid. It says win now. It's Rice. Yeah, bro. I wouldn't act like Rice isn't a win later player either. I mean, he's got just as much future as Worthy. So I wouldn't look at it from that perspective.
Almost if it's win now, it's Geno would be the win now part of it.
That team I just drafted was fire. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 1. He's a risky wide receiver 1, but make no mistake about it, he's a wide receiver 1. He is him and JSN, and who was the other one we were talking about yesterday? Marv, JSN, and
Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson, yeah, are the last wide receiver ones you can get the latest. On the clock here, Puppy. God, I keep taking, I'm going to go Puka here. I keep taking BTJ over and over and over. Whenever I get to 10, 11, 12, especially when I'm drafting with my people, I never have any of the players that I want at 10 or 11. I always have to take BTJ, who I like. But I went ahead and went Puka. because I don't draft a lot of Puka. I think Puka's fine for this year. I'm just not as high on him long-term as everybody else. I also think that he could potentially have some hiccups this year if he gets banged up, and I do expect him to miss some time. Just his style of play. Adams is also going to take a lot from him. A lot. Adams is not a pushover. Achane or Bowers, Bowers or Achane, Achane or Bowers, Bowers or Achane. Or Bucky. I'm going to go Achane here. Give myself a balanced approach. Puka and Achane. Not bad. Yes, sir. Yeah, dynasty-wise, I'm not as high on Puka. I'm definitely selling them high. Mainly because you can get the world for him right now. So trade into a safer player. But yeah, Rice over Worthy, bro. Rice is so good, man. Rice was a top. We mean, what? Nobody called Rice for the small minute we had it going in the right direction in this channel.
Let him cook.
And then it came crashing down as Mahomes took him out. This guy was on top 5 pace. He was on top 5 pace. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind Rice would have been a top 5 guy. Now, this is an example of taking Marv too high because his ADP isn't there at all. So taking CeeDee Lamb and Marv, there's no need to do that. You could get Marv at 29. Or you should be able to, and you took him way too high. So that's a missed opportunity, not necessarily a botch. You know, it could have worked out, sure, but you could have had a workout from 29 overall. You know, that's when someone says, go get your guy. No. Nah, I mean, yeah, no. Go get your guy, but if you could still get your guy, then, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Had Achane and Kyron last year. Well, congratulations to you, Sean. You watched the channel and you did a smashing job, young man.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Excellent work. Garrett Wilson. Love him in the 3rd round. Love him in the 3rd round. This guy belongs in the top 15. He belongs in the top 15.
It's not like he had a bad year last year either. He was a number 10 wide receiver in most leagues. Full PPR.
Brian says, Smitty, are we confident in CMC again? Again? No, bro. He was my biggest avoid last year. We smashed that one.
Let him cook.
that one paid for the entire year this year, by the way. That don't draft CMC, that basically bought, bought your 2025 paid free and clear. Yeah, don't go near CMC. I mean, I take him in a weekly where he can have a good 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks if he gets injured. But you got to cuff him. If you don't have Garendo and Jordan James and you don't have a league that's big enough, like your roster size isn't big enough to accommodate for cuffing Garendo and Jordan James, you have no business drafting Christian McCaffrey. Zero business. Breece Hall. I keep forgetting this isn't weekly. So you got to kind of, when you're doing multiple drafts and you cross over, you got to, like slap yourself. Like, you're not in weekly mode, Smitty. You're going in your dementia state again. I'm going to be sitting here going, Smitty, you're drafting. Oh, I am? What are we doing here? What kind of draft is this?
Better hope Underdog gets the sound notifications by that time. You're timing out all over the place.
All right, so my team is Achane, Hall, and Puka. Go Travis Hunter. So Puka and Travis Hunter, Breece Hall, Achane. I like this team. I think I'm doing the best one could do from the spot, but it is certainly not an advantageous spot in nature. Because you are, like, you go down to this round 1 slot, you got such an ability to smash from this 1 and 2 overall slot. 3 a little bit too. 12, I think 12 can be really good too right now. But it kind of just depends on the ADP. Are you in weeklies or you're not? We're not in weeklies. So yeah, Puka, Achan, Hall, and Travis Hunter. I like it a lot. It's feeling pretty good.
Alex Rodriguez out of the super chat.
Alex Rodriguez.
The original A-Rod.
Hey, coach. I think he's saying, hey, coach. He, coach. Hey, coach, Gibbs owner. Got an offer for my Egbuka and Charbonnet for Monty Pearsall, 27 third rounder and 28 third rounder. Third rounders can kick rocks. I can care less about those. So let's take those out. Pearsall and Monty, give me Egbuka and Charbonnet all day long.
Yep.
In a dynasty. Isn't even close. Monty's going to
His concern is that he has Gibbs.
Doesn't matter.
You can still.
Yeah. Would I give up, like, it sounds like third rounders are tickling fancies in this league, so maybe give up a second rounder for Monty. Second and a third rounder for Monty. Give up a couple of second rounders for Monty. You know. So definitely, you know, definitely not getting rid of that Egbuka. And, you know, Egbuka alone is better than Monty in Dynasty, bro. So you get Charbonnet as well, that home run hitting monster. I've got a little breaking news here, I think, on Charbonnet. Where's here it is.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk.
Warning, what you're about to see might be a little bit scary. You might want to turn away if you're squeamish, but this footage has been sent to us from a local Phoenix resident. Local authorities are trying to figure out what the sign means. It reads Sharb Season. Unclear as to what that is trying to reference or if that's some sort of warning. And it's still undetermined where these flying objects are deriving from.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com
I'm on the clock
desk.
here in a second. God, you know, the snipage is it's tough. I mean, I keep drafting Deebo over and over and over. I don't like anything else here. Laporta, do I go Laporta here?
I never hate Laporta.
Let's go Laporta.
He's having a big year.
So Puka, Achan, Hall, Travis Hunter, Laporta.
Like that.
Yeah. Problem is, I mentioned what I'm contemplating. There's zero, and there's almost zero chance he falls back to me. But let's see. Cal, okay. All I got to do is just say that, and it'll happen. Deebo's still there. Go Deebo here. So team so far feeling really, really balanced. Achan, Hall, Puka, Travis Hunter, Deebo, Laporta.
I like that balance. I was going to say real quick that, the chances probably aren't great because people have just drafted him if you're already drafted in your league, but gauge the interest on Igbuka if he goes in like the late second or something like that. 'Cause some people think of him as like, he's just a wide receiver 3 there, but like you've said before, within a year, he could be a monster. And if you look at the way scouts and coaches like him, the NFL loves him. There's huge ceiling there with Igbuka.
John says 2.
Might be able to get him a little cheap.
This looks like Adam from Counting Crows right here. I don't know if you guys have seen what he looks like lately. It's crazy. Yeah. But he doesn't use the wig anymore. And so now without the wig, it's like, oh my God, he looks so different. Sean says 2 QB league going for Penix Dak combo in auction style draft. Mr. Jones and me. 2 QB league going for Penix and Dak. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Penix and Dak, or Dak and Kyler, or Penix and Kyler, Dak and Kyler. Like, you need combo of that is fantastic. Got him. I mean, Sean. Sean to the moon. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. You monster, you. You straight up monster. That song brings back so many memories. Mr. Jones. Where was everybody at when Mr. Jones first hit the radio?
So it was that early 90s.
This way I can get H and Kyron again. Yes, many of you weren't even born. Some of you weren't. Mr. Jones and me.
December 93.
Tell each other fairy tales.
I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like they played that song everywhere for like
I mean, I was
5 years though.
I was little, but I still remember it. I loved it. I still like it. It's a good song. Feels like yesterday though. Jeez. All right, Egbuka's there. We just talked about the man of the hour. We'll take Egbuka here. I've got Egbuka, Deebo, Hunter, Puka, and Breece Hall. How to make a roster with 2 quarterbacks in an auction style. In a Superflex auction, we're going to be very, very rare you see me do an auction video, auction content, Superflex. Not to say I can't talk it out with you on the phone line or through a super chat though, but you probably won't see a video on it. I'm just guessing, you know, as far as like what I plan, what I have planned. How do I go, Bo Nix or Kyler?
Ooh, Nix. That's close though.
Bo Nix, HN, Hall, Puka, Hunter, Deebo, Igbuka, Laporta.
Nice. Curious to see how you fill the running backs out.
Fred
I like
saw,
those first.
Fred saw him in concert. How was it as he's gotten older? Is it still like really solid? Nick says I sniped him. What did I snipe? What did I take? Maybe we do some sort of round here.
Oh, you wanted Nick.
Jeanty scores touchdowns. Round here. Jeanty radiates the flux capacitor. Jeanty came from Nashville with a suitcase in his hand. Said he wants to talk about scoring touchdowns. And in between the 100 yards a game, Jeanty scores 2 or 3. Yeah, I like the squad. Nix, Devon Achane, Breece Hall, Puka, Hunter, Deebo, Igbuka, Laporta. Doing it live. You'll see a lot of bully QB from me on Best Ball. I'm just saying you won't see a lot of bully QB. Like, you're not going to get, if it's Superflex, you're not going to get a lot of Superflex auction content on this channel. Not that I don't want to do it, but all you got to do is super chat or call in, you know, and then you have it. A lot of people say, why don't you do more of this? Well, call in and make it happen. Phone line, you have open phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I mean, the show could be whatever you want it to be. You want it to be, what do you think of Mr. Jones? I mean, literally. So you want auction content, just dial in. Super chat too. know what I'm saying, bro? Charbonnet. Damn it. Damn it. I guess Andrews. I don't mind the Andrews pick here. I only have 2 running. Very rare for me to only have 2 running backs, but everyone's snagging my boys.
I like Andrews. I mean, still be solid. He had like 11 touchdowns last year.
I don't know what running back to take here at this point. I mean,
yeah, I was wondering where you're going to go. I see a couple.
Isn't Tootin a little bit different, right? Like the fumble. He had fumble in college. Fumbles his first live rep. And it's like just a little bit different. Hits a little different when you're on the clock now, and you're like, I'm smashing Tootin to pieces, and then you're like, shit.
Najee and Javonte, those aren't too bad. So they both have risk of not getting as many carries as you want. But
yeah,
Najee should get 200 carries anyway.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna grab Tootin, but I need something. Open, why do you gotta be negative about everything lately? What are you talking? Like, you're talking about Counting Crows. He has to come up with a negative Counting Crows take. Yeah, Counting Crows are cool until you realize that they came out the same year as Smashing Pumpkins. Like, who cares? Why does that make Counting Crows not cool? Why are Counting Crows not cool because you realize Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana existed? What does that have to do with anything?
They get third place in 1993, like anyone remembers.
Like, stop being a contrarian, bro. It's not a good look. Everything your boy's talking about. Snipe, draft, Superflex startup, tight end premium rating, QB, Allen, Dart, Russell Wilson, Superflex. I mean, I don't love this, quarterback room outside of Josh Allen, obviously, but I don't love Russ or Dart, to be honest. I'd rather Milrow. Pendo, Chase Brown, Scat. I like the running back room. Connor Benson, like it. That's good. Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Kyle Williams. Yeah, I mean, I like your team. What would I rate this? I'd say a 7, 6.5, 7. The average. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. I guess I'd say 7.
My biggest contender would be QBs.
Yeah, I mean, it has the potential. You know what I mean? Like, a couple of those things smash. I love Hendy. I love Chase Brown. I love Josh Allen and McBride. I'd say 8. Give you 8. Garrett Wilson, 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little hard on it. I'm sorry. The thing is, yeah, you get held back. Like, it's hard to win a Superflex league without that second quarterback. And I don't think Russ is the guy at all. And I think Dart is solid, but he wasn't my favorite quarterback coming out, so I'm just still kind of a wait and see mode. But it's a pretty damn good team, actually. I'm going to give it an 8, bro. And I don't know what to tell you to work on, because what are you going to trade? I mean, maybe Devontae Smith and one of the quarterbacks is trying to get him a Mahomes or something. Like, you do that, and you're in smooth sailing territory. I'll go Benson here. There's your boy. You got Benson, too. Benson and Tootin. That's not bad, considering my running backs now look like Achane, Breece Hall, Tootin, and Benson. That's pretty good. Quarterbacks. Running backs. I guess I go Bigsby here. Okay, now I'm feeling like I'm drafting too many running backs, but I feel good. Achane, Breece, Bigsby, and Tootin, and Benson. So I'm pretty covered. We'll see what I get. Going down street. Snipe draft, Superflex. Yeah, bro, I like it. The more I look at it, the only thing is that Superflex quarterbacks, Dark could be the key. If Dark ends up being great, then you're fine. You'll end up being great. Alex,
it's a startup, so he can maneuver for another QB.
I mean, the truth is, I'm not giving enough respect to Garrett Wilson, McBride, Josh Allen, Chase Brown. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of firepower there.
Yeah, Kyle Williams.
A
good roster.
Sorry, my initial reaction off the Superflex quarterback situation was too harsh. That is an 8.0. That's easily an 8.0.
I see what he's doing, though, is for this year anyway, he's got Dark and Russ, so he's guaranteed him a second quarterback probably. I know Winston's out there too. If he can juice up that QB room, he's looking good.
All right, open 24. You're going to go in a little timeout. You got a little 5-minute timeout. You can do what you want during that 5 minutes by yourself. But you don't need to say, Aaron. Aaron, you're actually done. You
did admit he's been
what?
Drinking grandma's cough syrup. So. He did admit he's a few drinks in the bag now.
Okay, well, you're in timeout for 5 minutes for calling Aaron stupid. That's not really cool, bro.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he says, Aaron, you're actually dumb. I'm old. So while you sit in timeout for 5 minutes.
Which wasn't even what you said. So he's not even understanding. So.
Yeah.
Take a breather.
There you go. Go rest. I want the truth, Smitty. Well, you know what? The truth is, I misjudged your team reading it too quickly. How do you call a team that has McBride, Garrett Wilson, Chase Brown? Who's the other running back?
You had Scattaboo and someone else.
And someone really good. Chase Brown, Hendo, Chase Brown, McBride, Garrett Wilson, and Josh Allen, and I'm calling it a sub-8. No, that's on me. I'll take a lap on that initial assessment. That's my fault. Let me take a little lap on that one. Here we go.
Devonta Smith and Kyle Williams.
That's on me. That's an 8. That's a minimum of an 8. 8.0. So you got the truth. That was my bad. That's my bad assessment.
That's what Russ does. That's what Russ does to people. You see Russ's name and you run.
What we are realizing is that music sucks now, says Aaron. Aaron's just voicing an opinion about music and didn't ask to be called dumb by Open, who's just been negative from the jump. Like, Smitty, you're wrong about this. Smitty, you're wrong about that. Counting Crows is a good band. They were good until you realized that other bands were around. I'm gonna time out. No. Ferguson, okay. I'm all right with that. Could be worse. Laporta, Andrews, Ferguson. Why not? What quarterback do I have? Bo Nix only? Shoot. Jeez, these quarterbacks.
I thought Nix was your second.
No, I wish. I was trying to get Kyler and Nix. I should have taken Dak when I had the chance instead of Tootin. That's my fault. And of course, talking about and queuing. I hate taking Geno here, but he's the only quarterback that is probably getting consistent work all year. It's left. Look, like basketball, like NBA basketball, or like the NFL, or like anything, music. It has different cultures and different things. Like, it is a different time right now. People can create music at a crazy pace now in their bedroom, on their phone, through AI and all that. So it's all changing, but I think some nostalgic stuff, like, when Thriller came out, if some of you are old enough to have watched, even if you're like 2 or 4 or 5 years old and you remember it for some reason, probably 4, I guess. Anybody have memories before 4? 3 or 4, probably not. But even if you're 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you saw Michael Jackson, even if it was like already out for 4 or 5 years, and you saw it on MTV, and you saw Thriller, or you saw MTV. MTV was the only place like you could get music or find out what was coming out. Like there's gatekeepers everywhere. So you could sit there and say music was great back in the day, but you had gatekeepers that decided what you could listen to and what was going to be famous. Now you can go on TikTok, drop a song, and become one of the most famous artists in the world. You can go on American Idol, become one of the most famous artists in the world. So I like that in a way, and there's a lot more music now. I think that's the problem, is the ability to choose all these different things makes it harder. Back then, you kind of had like a handful of things to listen to. That was it.
Yeah, back then things like had time to have its moment. Like everything moves so fast now, and there's so much of it that it passes some people by.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm going to do with this next pick. I got Bo Nix and Geno. I hate my quarterbacks. I like Bo Nix, but I hate not having. I usually, if I don't have bully QB that involves like a Bo Nix as the second or Kyler as the second, I'm not happy. HN, Hall, Tootin, Benson, Bigsby, Puka, Hunter, Deebo, Egbuka, Laporta. This is probably my least favorite team I've drafted this year. It happens. And I keep getting this damn late pick. I don't know why I can't get anything but 10, 11, or 12 when I do a live stream. On weeklies, I had, what did I have on weeklies? 8? I guess that was higher, but I can't get a 1 or a 2 pick when I do a live stream. I don't get it. And then when I don't do a live stream and I draft, I get like a 1, 2, or 3. Any wide receivers? Jeez, I'm going to time out. Pat Bryant. Why is my finger not... It's expanding everything. I'm clicking on these stars, and it's like my iPad needs to be restarted. Mm-hmm. You like Yoshivas or... Yeah, that's the best player. Let's take him. So I have 17, 18. I have 2 more picks left. I have Bo, Geno, HN, Hall, Tootin, Benson, Bigsby, Nacua, Travis Hunter, Deebo, Egbuka, Pat Bryant, Yoshivas, Laporta, Andrews, and Ferguson. What bye week problems do I have? All week 8 bye weeks. Those are all my backups, though.
Oh, that's the big one.
Yeah. But I have HN and Hall for 9 and 10, 12. I mean, I'm okay there. Wide receivers, I have 12 and 8. I'm okay there. Tight ends, I'm completely all different bye weeks. To be honest with you, I still have to remind myself to check the bye weeks. I've been in such a draft mode all offseason that I don't think about it. Like sometimes I don't care. Depends on the format, but as long as I can grab a couple guys, I mean, you got to think about it. You want somebody that can step up, but if you have all your buys in 1 week, and as long as you're covering and having a guy you think is competent to back up, I don't make a decision based on the bye week. I just make sure I I cover my bye week with at least a couple guys, but I don't make a decision on it. Why am I going to draft a lesser player because of a bye week? I mean, you can argue that having all your players on week 8 and week 10 helps you be more full go the rest of the season. It's kind of like an irrelevant topic as long as you back yourself up properly, which I tend to do at the end of the draft. But sometimes I forget because, like I said, I'm not in bye week mode thinking for some reason yet. I just can't remember. I'm going senile. I think I got a good 15 years before I start maybe forgetting some things.
I hope so.
we're good. I think
If
we're
not, something's wrong.
Yeah, we're good for another 15. Like we'll do a check. You know, we'll do a check. Maybe we'll do a check live with the doctor. He's like, "Yep, you're on your way, young man, to forgetting stuff." Quarterback. Damn it! Come on! It's not clicking. I'm literally clicking it. It's not doing it. It's expanding the player when I'm clicking the checkbox or the star. I'm trying to cue people and it won't do anything.
Glitchy. So wouldn't you say once you get like past like ADP 150, if you want to reach a round or two for guys, it doesn't matter. Someone was asking about that because you took JCM like a couple rounds earlier or whatever.
Yeah, I like around 16, 17. There's just a lot of things that could happen. You're looking at, let's say you're looking at Noah Gray, and you're like, I got Kelce, I'm going to grab Noah Gray. Or you want to draft Fannin as one of your last tight ends. And the way you're looking at it is you're targeting JCM, you're targeting Jalen Milroe, and then either Noah Gray or Fannin. Like at that point, all three of them are reaches, but they're your favorite end of the draft guys.
Right.
Doesn't matter what you do. You know, you're gonna have to reach on one of them all three times. And will I take somebody early like a JCM just to make sure I get them in round 16 versus like let's look at round 16. If I go to the round 16 area, Cade Otton, Demario Douglas, J.K. Dobbins. I like Tesla a little bit. Dalton, Roshan, Jalen Wright, Yoshi Vaughn. Like none of these guys belong there either. You know, it just happens to be their ADP. I would gladly take a 18th, 19th round guy in round 17, 16 and not even bat an eye. You're not feeding into bad ADP data or anything like that. You just don't even worry about it. That's where you grab your guy. Don't worry about ADP in round 16, 17, 18 at all. Just draft the order that you believe lands you the three guys you want.
Yeah, especially because those guys, the Fannis and the JCMs, like once people get on board with them, they're far higher than that at ADP anyway. So that like that doesn't match their potential. Their talent.
That's a tough. Do I have someone on the phone line? DJ sitting there. DJ, hold on one second. Let me get Gump in here. Go ahead, DJ. DJ, you're live, and then Gump. I'm sorry, DJ. You were so quiet.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm just watching the show. No big deal. Stick with little Smitty. You know, give her some time. I mean, she did pick McMillan.
She did.
Which wasn't that bad.
She's a little early to decide her fate, but my 13-year-old wants nothing to do with it. I'm like, I just asked out of curiosity. I'm like, in like 20 years, I plan on doing this for another 15, 20 years. So don't worry. But I said,
we'll find out what his alternative might be. You know what I mean? So this is because
I figure
listen, what I wanted to say was, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's right. Go ahead. I'm good.
I was calling in since we're going down memory lane. Two things. The Marquise Colston, 7th round draft pick from Hofstra, and it also made me think about Wayne Corbett. And I went to Hofstra. I was walking that yard when they were there, or at least when Corbett was there. And the Brady Six, Gino, what was his name? Went to San Francisco. Gino Cabarresi? But at any rate, I was just thinking in terms of Gino, right? Gino something. And they don't even have a football program anymore. Nope. Who? I'm sorry, man. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, yeah,
so
go
I
ahead.
was just thinking in terms of, Marquise Colston, Wayne Corbett. We had Gino, Dave Fiore, Blanche Salters, and there is no more football program at that university, which is kind of weird to me. Hofstra University in Long Island. And when I was there, Corbett came in 91, 92, and maybe 5'9", 165 pounds. And
no offense, DJ, but we got to speed it up a little bit. We're dragging this story.
Yeah, no worries. No, I was just sharing in terms of memory lane. You were talking about Mr. Jones, and you had mentioned Marquise Colston, and I was just thinking in terms of wide receivers that played in the NFL that were drafted in the 7th round that had the production like Marquise Colston. There's only a couple of them.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good topic. It's rare to find a Marquise Colston. It's rare to find that, but when I think of players, and again, it's not like a lock. When I say Kyle Williams, maybe he's the Colston. I look at situations where it's just he could be. It's not that I'm saying he will be. That you got a number 1 wide receiver spot availability. You got a solid quarterback situation, Drake May. You've got targets that need to just be consumed. It's kind of like the Anquan Bolden effect, like in Arizona, his rookie year. Anquan Bolden had an amazing rookie season that typically was not something a rookie could do, but the situation was beautiful. Now, rookie receivers can pop off the rookie year now, but I think that we have a really good situation for Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams was one of my favorite wide receiver prospects anyway. Thank you for the gifted memberships, New Age Outlaw, to the mother freaking moon. Appreciate you, New Age, dropping 10 gifted memberships. You monster, you. You're Smitty approved. That's for.
You've just been Smitty approved.
DJ, I mean, it's not easy to call the next Colston, but I do think that Kyle Williams has that potential at least. It's not easy to call him.
Well, I don't see any reason why not. And if I'm getting Kyle Williams, I'm trying to, attach him to, especially where you're able to get him at and on the board. If it makes sense,
Yeah. I'd say if I had to come up with a potential out of nowhere players, and let me look at the board right now that we just drafted in. Let me see if I can get back to that. Okay, so if we're looking at this board, the wide receivers, so the wide receivers in orange, if we go from the bottom, and I'm just going to scroll down on row 1, I don't see anybody having potential for being an elite player. Round 2, A.O. Minor has a little upside for that. Jalen Royals. The only problem with Royals is he's in a crowded room. So it's like, can he really become that player? Probably not, but he's got the upside for it. Pat Bryant's the first name that I see so far that I say there's the opportunity. I'm not saying Sutton is bad at all. I like Sutton. I don't value Sutton enough. I admit that every year. But is there room for someone that is elite that nobody sees coming that can be Marquise Colston like? Pat Bryant has the most upside so far. Not saying it's a lock by any means. Tesla, there's a lot of talent there, but there's no room for him to be a number 1. They've got too many mouths to feed over there, but I like him a lot. So far there's, Michael Wilson can't do that in Arizona, but I do like him a lot. So right now, Pat Bryant's the only one so far. I'm looking about right on this row right here. Leggett, he can't do it. There's not enough room for him, I think, to be that good. I liked him at one point, but Quinton Johnston, no. McMillan, I thought I would have said yes if they didn't take Egbuka. I still love him a lot, but I don't think he can become that number 1. Jack Besh could. That could be like the Cooper Cup of this draft. There's certainly a possibility. So far, yeah. Pat Bryant and Jack Besh, maybe. Kyle Williams, already said him for sure. So Kyle Williams, Jack Besh, and Pat Bryant. And those are rookies. So par for the course. Doesn't have to be rookies, though.
What about my guy out in Seattle? Rookie. Seattle.
Yeah, Horton. Yeah, I mean...
Horton.
I don't think I think he's in the same spot that, a couple of other names I mentioned where there's just no room to be the one. Like Tesla can't be the one. JSN's the one. There's no way he's unseating JSN. JSN lives in committees. He took down Garrett Wilson. He took down everybody that's ever been in his way. Keon Coleman, I think there's still hope. I really do. There's still hope. I don't know that it's guaranteed, but there's still hope. He's a monster. He's a big boy. Luther Burden, he could definitely overtake everyone, including Adunze. And as much as I love Adunze coming out, Adunze isn't in the best spot. I think Luther Burden's in a better spot than him. Slot receivers do well with Ben Johnson, and Luther Burden's going to play all over the field. Jaden Higgins is a little appeal, but can he be the number one? I think Jaden Higgins in the same spot that, Horton's in it. Like, how can you get a hold of this number one spot? Nico's in the way, so no. And I'm trying to find the next Colston, somebody that could be the number one for his team. Egbuka, 100%. Right. But Egbuka is going in the 7th round, though, so is he really qualified as the next Marquise Colston that nobody saw coming? No. But if I had to grab a hold of a player that is still extremely underrated, that can be a top 7 to 10 fantasy football wide receiver and top 10 NFL wide receiver, Egbuka is the one that screams the most. He just happens to cost a little more. So Egbuka, Golden, I don't believe in as much as everybody else. There's a shot, but I just don't buy it. And that's about it. I can't go any higher. We're talking about big name players. So Egbuka, middle range player, could be the best shot at the next breakout rags to riches wide receiver. Egbuka, remember the name, draft him everywhere you can, cuff him to McMillan in best ball. And then it comes down to Kyle Williams, Jack Besh, and who was the other one? Kyle Williams, Jack Besh, Pat Bryant.
Well, I was saying Thornton, but not a number one. But if there's a tie, Egbuka would be my choice. I just think, and I think I've said this before, I just think that wide receiver factory that is Ohio State with Berline Travis. What's his name? Wide receiver coach, Ohio State.
The what?
Oh,
the wide receiver coach. Yeah.
Talking about Heartland?
So if there's a tie, Egbuka.
Oh.
I mean, they've been producing.
A tie with who? Egbuka tied with who?
Oh, no, in terms of you were talking about Burton and the receivers. I agree. In any conversation, I would go with Egbuka because of the Ohio State connection.
But who are you tying him with, though? Who are you tying him with, though? You said tie.
Well, you're talking about Beck.
Oh, yeah. I think
Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say Burton. I don't think Burton at all. I back out Pat Bryant, not Burton. Burton to me is, unfortunately, Burton to me, he lives in a crowded room where they just re-upped on Higgins and Chase, so there's no room. He's got Yoshi Voss, who's been hitting the gym, putting in the weight in the work, and he's got the rapport and the trust of the staff. I mean, Burton might be looking good, they say. Like, they're impressed with him. But, like, that's somebody saying, hey, remember Burton last year? Disappointing rookie that you practically cut? How's he doing? He's doing better. That's all that was. There was a report on that today saying Burton's impressing, and people are racing out to get Burton in Dynasty right now because he got cut last year. Burton ain't nothing, man. Not in this room. Burton can't. He has had a tough time. And look, I hope good things for him. I'm not wishing ill will upon anybody. I think this world, it has room for everybody to succeed, and I always try and preface that whenever I can. I know I get into a screaming, yelling phase, and people think I want people to fail like Caleb. I don't want Caleb to fail. I don't want anybody to fail, but I'm also trying to be a truth teller about what I believe will happen. And Burton is a mess right now. Burton's a mess off the field. He was like, I think he was even like not paying his rent and things like that. And there were some legal issues there. Like, he's just not, he doesn't have it together. He doesn't have his life in order. And there's no way he's going to hit meetings on time, implement things at this guy's a scattered brain, unfocused, off the field issues. there's just, in my opinion, Burton's got no chance unless he shapes his life up really quickly. It's crazy. You know, I hope for his case he does. But, oh, did you say, you probably thought I meant, I was talking Luther Burton.
Yeah, I mean, it's my pronunciation, man. I'll get
okay,
better.
because you were saying Burton. Okay, Burton. Burton. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because you were saying
spent
Burton.
a few minutes on that guy, Burton. But
yeah,
I'm talking
Luther
about
Burton. Yeah, Luther Burton I love, but Burton I don't. Okay, sorry. The reason I thought you said that is because he came up in the news today. But yeah, since we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengal wide receiver, you know, Luther Burton over in Chicago, I hate his situation, but I love the player. He's my third best ranked, highest ranked wide receiver in the class. He was is Egbuka and then Burton right below him. But they're neck and neck. I love Burton. Burton's so good. And he's fast, he's speedy. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. Jermaine Burton in Cincinnati is a mess. And I think if you even like Google his name, Jermaine, that's what I thought you were talking about. Jermaine Burton.
No, I'll get better, man. It was my pronunciation.
No, you don't have to get better. I just miss it. I just misinterpreted it. Yeah, usually
I think I'm missing the boat on the Burton's role, Chicago, this year. I think he's just going to kind of slide into that Ahmad role. Simply because when you think about what he's doing, now, he drafted the tight end, a la LaPorta. There is no more slot because, you know, who was it that left? Guy, Chargers. 55, man. I'm already losing. What's the wide receiver that left from the Bears?
Oh,
slot receiver.
Keenan Allen.
Okay, so Keenan Allen is left. I think he's just going to slide in that role a la St. Brown. Porter, with the Loveland, that receiver. So I'm kind of missing the boat in terms of why there might be a little concern. I don't see it. I just think Johnson is just going to build the team as he sees it, and he's got Burton in the slot, got his tight end now. The guy was there is not his guy, so I mean, he could be the number one from a standpoint of PPR.
He will be, yeah. All right, DJ, appreciate you, bro. You're the man.
On, man. Thanks.
You're the man. Later. All right, Travis. Anything else? Rock Out's there. Let me go to Rock Out real quick.
I think there was a super chat too.
Okay, Rock Out. Anything else or anything from you, my man? Aaron says, DJ, how is your Little League team doing? Aaron wants to know from DJ. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I saw this late and he was on the phone. Go ahead, Rock Out. DJ can update you.
Yeah, I gave you my terrible team.
Yes. Go ahead and give me your terrible team. Shoot. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rock Out.
All right. Quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Penix, Stafford. Running back, Kyler Williams, Harvey, Hubbard, Benson, Joseph Hunter, Lil Bill. Wide receiver, Neighbors, A.J. Brown, Samuel, Shakir, Kyle Williams, Michael Wilson, tight end, Ingram, Ertz, and Fannin.
Nice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it. What else you got in regards to Jeanty tonight?
I think he can be around the top 5, top 4, top 5 guy.
Yeah. All right.
What's like the earliest you take him?
Earliest, like, don't tell anybody?
Yeah.
Depends on where I'm drafting. If I'm on underdog, I am taking Lamb, JJ, or Jamar Chase. Pretty in Neighbors is still up there, but those three, JJ, Lamb, Jamar Chase, probably every time inside the top 5. But I'd take him, like, if those guys were gone, and I'm not saying I wouldn't mix in some Jeanty, but probably 5 or 6 is the highest I'd take him in a non-best ball running back hungry, grandma league or a buddy league or a home league or Miss Smitty's work league. I'd take him 4 or 5. I'd take in a running back hungry environment where I know running backs are getting scooped off the board, and I'm going to get London maybe at 2.12, versus him going 2.4. I'm going to get a handful of wide receivers that fall. I could get Deebo, a Travis Hunter, and also get Garrett Wilson, well past 28, 29 overall, so I can get that receiving room. I'm taking Jeanty at 4 if I need to. Bijan, Gibbs. I still think you consider Barkley even with the injury risk, but he's obviously up there. But I could take Jeanty 3, I guess, then. If I'm convinced I'm going RB. And I'm not taking a position, but you're also considering the context of drafting in the top 3. You can almost lock yourself into the best player available if you believe it to be running back in that format. So I could easily just say, it is the best player available. It's Bijan, Gibbs, or Gibbs, Bijan, then Jeanty. I could convince myself 3.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts on Loveland in the crowded white weapon room of Chicago?
I draft Loveland, but I don't want him as my number 1 tight end.
How about number 2?
Sure, best ball. I'd take Loveland, but I don't want. This is a rookie playing the toughest position to translate at the NFL. It's not wide receiver. It's not running back. It's not quarterback. Those positions translate immediately. This is a tough position to translate. And he plays maybe as a rookie, you got to think he's going to be 1, 2, 3rd option at best in a Caleb Williams, like outside the pocket, off schedule offense. Maybe Ben Johnson fixes it and under center Caleb's accurate, but right now the only way Caleb was able to score points last year was to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, get into the second half, be down, prevent defenses, Caleb off script, off schedule, running outside the pocket, racking up 3rd and 4th quarter garbage points while defenses were in prevent. That's why. That's the only reason why Caleb had even remotely close to solid stats on some level, and he's getting sacked because he had a middle of the pack offensive line, pass blocking offensive line. Not the worst in the league, not even in the bottom 10. The Bears didn't even have they didn't have a great pass blocking unit, but they were middle of the pack. They were right in the dead center, middle of the NFL. And people that don't know what they're talking about will say that can't be true because Caleb was sacked more than any. That doesn't relate. It's not how they measure it. Caleb held onto the ball on average for 3.5 to 3.6 seconds, and you don't measure offensive lines past 2.5. So Caleb was the reason he was sacked, not the offensive line. And they were a top 8 projected offensive line walking into the year. He's the one that made them badly ranked. People are so wild, man. They want to hear what they want to hear. They want to act like even when I say that, they want to say Smitty says that the Bears offensive line was good. They're not good. Who said they were good? Who said they were good? They weren't as bad as people say. They were middle of the road. That's what they were. The Chicago Bears pass blocking offensive line was middle of the league. It's insane. You know whose line was below middle of the league? The Washington Commanders. But JD5, just by his mere presence, turned it into a better offensive line than that. And then they coached it up, of course, and made moves. But this is wild to me.
Yep. Now they improved it even more.
All right. Rock out. See you later, bro. Appreciate you. Rock out. Gumpy, you got 30 seconds, Gump, and then I'm out of here.
Oh.
Well,
hold on,
sure
Gump, hold on, Gump, hold on 1 second. We're going to go into, unfortunately for you, we're going into no nonsense mode. That means no small talk. No, Smitty can ask you a question. No, Smitty, how you doing? It's no nonsense mode, Gump.
You're doing the small talk right now. You're in the nonsense mode. Listen,
the no-nonsense phone line protocol has been activated. No small talk, greetings, or story build-ups will be tolerated and will result in disconnection.
Gump, you're talking over the thing. Okay, go ahead, Gump. You're no nonsense mode. Hurry up. I got you.
I like Kyle Williams.
He likes you back.
For the Patriots.
Yep, he's good. He's a good boy.
Who's his competition?
Really no one, because Polk and Javon Walker and DeMario Douglas and those guys. It's Diggs. Diggs is competition for him, but not long term. So I'd say you got Diggs and Kyle. That's it. But Diggs will certainly command. I mean, Diggs will command stuff.
I'm starting to be convinced that Kyle Williams is a hot commodity.
Yeah, well, he is. He is, Gump. You're not.
What rounds he going in? What rounds he going in?
Finish him. Call terminated.
Don't you dare raise your voice at me, Gump. We're in no nonsense mode. That sounds like nonsense to me. Jeez, he got a real testy up in here. I mean, that was
extra no nonsense.
Yeah, that was over the top. Gifted memberships. Thank you, New Age, for dropping that. Appreciate you, my boy. Gifted coming in. DJ says 7-3-2, 6 more left. Best ball team since T-ball. They are now 10. Good stuff, team. 7-3-2, 6 more left. Best by best. Yeah, best team. I'm sorry, I said best ball. My mind, I'm in best ball mode. 7-3-2, so 2 ties. 6 teams left. All right, let's give Gump one more shot. Gump, you got 10 seconds. You're still in no nonsense mode. Don't screw it up by screaming and yelling at me.
Okay, I won't do that. We got to keep it quiet. It's late at night.
Keep it too quiet.
Kyle Williams is going to be better than Travis Hunter.
Well, I mean, look, let me just put it this way. You can't come in and try and one-up me on Kyle Williams by trying to walk in and say something like even crazier. I like Kyle Williams. I like Kyle Williams. You said it. Can I tell you why? There's no not.
Finish him. Call terminated.
There's no asking. There's no. Thank you, DJ, for the super chat. Appreciate you. We've got Terry Roberts in the house. Terry Roberts says, Smitty, change my drafting game. He will change yours. Thank you, Terry Roberts. You're the man, the myth, the legend. New Age, thanks again for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Navage, for your super chat. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Anything else, Travis?
Yeah, just with Torrey Horton, he's a little interesting just because I know JSN and Cup can run on the outside. They do more work in the slot, but they don't have a ton of outside guys. But I actually kind of think the guy that, if he can stay healthy, that has the best chance to do something right away would be tight end Elijah Arroyo. I mean, he's fast for a tight end, and
yeah,
he showed he can.
I like Arroyo. That's not a bad. Travis, you still there?
I watch, especially with tight ends. You never know.
Gump's trying to call in again. Sorry, it cut out a little bit. Yeah, Arroyo's pretty good. I still like Fannin more, but Arroyo's got interesting.
Me too.
You kind of could be like the Kraft, where you're like, you got Kraft, he could be that good maybe. I think Fannin's got the capability of being a Laporta, but he's got to have the right opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to see like the coach talking him up a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Nope. Appreciate it, Smitty. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later, bro. All right, we're out of no nonsense mode. DJ, thank you for the super chat. DJ to the moon. Thank you, Terry Roberts. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Navage. Thank you, Alex Rodriguez. Thank you, Navage. Thank you, DMO, Aaron, Money Mitch, and Jonathan for the super chats. And thank you to New Age Outlaw for dropping those gifted memberships. And we're still in no nonsense mode because Gump's on the line. Gump, this is your last chance. What can I do for you, Gumpy? Hit me with it, straight to the point. Go ahead. No requests, no asking me how it's going. Can you ask me a question? Fast, speedy, do it live.
Travis Hunter was at practice catching with his body.
Okay, first of all, again, you can't come in and try and one-up me on Kyle Williams. I literally am as high on Kyle Williams as a person can responsibly be high on Kyle Williams. So you're trying to come in and bait me and say he's going to outscore Travis Hunter.
Finish him.
I didn't mean to hit that prematurely, Gump. I'm not going to sit here and say it's impossible. I love Kyle Williams, but I would never bet on that. I would never bank on that. I would never expect that. But I love Kyle Williams on the download so much, you're not going to get a rise out of me. But am I drafting Travis Hunter in round 4 and 5 with ease? Yeah. And, you know, Gump, you can like Kyle Williams and Travis Hunter at the same time. You don't need to call in and bait me and try and make me, hate on Kyle Williams when I love him because you want to trash Travis Hunter. Can't he be as good? Can't he be a rising star? Why does he have to tear down Travis Hunter in order to be a good prediction?
I just want to know your take on him. That's it.
I love Kyle Williams. You know my take. I talk about it every day.
Well, maybe I didn't catch that, but yeah, he's good.
He's good, Gump.
Yeah, so is Tesla.
Tesla looks good. He does look good. There's no doubt about it, but there's just not a path for him to be consistent. I like Tesla in best ball. I draft Tesla at the very end of best ball all the time because you're looking for spike week. He could absolutely have a 100-yard touchdown game every couple months. I mean, but he needs an injury. You cuff him, cuff him to St. Brown or to JMO. That's a great move for best ball, but you can't draft Tesla and redraft non-best ball with like 7 bench spots. Like, that's just stupidity. But you can monitor him and wait for an injury and then grab him. But Tesla doesn't have value that is going to sustain all year unless something happens to the wide receiver room.
Well, Boy Genius was trying to give up a second to move up to grab Tesla of the Rams.
Tesla has crazy hands bigger than Megatron. Let's not start talking about Megatron and Tesla. I don't care if his hand size. I don't even know if that's true, but the picture you're trying to paint against Megatron. Come on, bro. All right, gotta go, Gump. Appreciate you.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Oh!
Finish him. Call terminated.
Gonna learn the hard way during no nonsense phone line. There's no pleasantries or anything of the sort. No, hey, is it okay can I go to the restroom? Hey, how you doing? That's just the nature of the no nonsense phone line. All right, see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks. Live at midnight Eastern most every night. See you all tomorrow.